I ended up getting involved really, God, it must have been like a year and a half ago, almost 2 years now. I had a colleague named Shannon Blanchette, and she took on a temporary position at BioWare as an assistant to Caroline. So they asked me to come in and submit for the Salarian that was cut from the game. Every month or so, we would come in and read the story and get a sense of what was happening. But it was so broken up and not in order. I was reading Kallo Jath for them to have something to, base the animations off of. I just kind of assumed I was not going to be kept as the voice actor for Kallo, and so I was going through it, doing the readings, hoping. The game had been announced, I knew it was coming out, and in a couple of months, and nobody had actually ever said to me, "Hey, you're going to be Kallo," until the Nomad and Tempest briefing that I voiced. When she sent me a message, I was like, well, this must mean that they're keeping me. So it was kind of like a little nice Christmas present where I was able to finally go, oh my God, I get to do this, thank God. When looking at all of the different alien races in Mass Effect, I kind of always wish that I was like a Turian, but really I think I fit it. I'm a Salarian, which is great, but also kind of sad at the same time. I don't know, they always feel safe for me, even when they're bad guys. There's still something about them that you just kind of want to hold and just snuggle into and cute. His Salarian photographic memory was stronger than most Salarians, and how everything feels like it's happening right in that moment for him. I love the optimism that Kallo has. There's a sadness to Kallo, which, to have that situation where he had all the people that helped him build the ship, that worked the ship with all of his whole life, which he left behind. I kind of always wanted the optimism and the positivity to kind of be as a result of, this kind of sadness that was within him. There's always a part of me, and I don't know if it's just because I've spent all this time with Kallo, that the minute Gil showed up, I was just like, I hate you. I hope so much that they continue keeping Kallo in the game and and continue making the games, because there's so much that I kind of want to see them build on. I kind of like Kallo's sarcasm, and I think that's because my humor is always borderline kind of sarcastic, and I want so much more of that. That was one of the first things I said to Caroline and Shannon. I was like, oh God, everyone's going to be comparing me to Seth Green. Seth Green is like a continental treasure, across. I kept telling myself, of course, Kallo, it's a different character. It's not the same, and Kallo was on a different journey than what Joker was, and you have to have it different, otherwise, why bother? You can't go too far in either way. On one hand, you want people to also be able to, while playing Andromeda, be able to reminisce about the trilogy, but you want everything to also seem new at the same time, and I can't, that must be such a difficult line to tread for them. I saw Kallo for the first time. I popped in to do some voice work later on. I think it was after Christmas, and they showed me the movie night. And he kind of looked exactly like what I pictured he would look like. I kind of always pictured kind of a scrawnier, taller, kind of, I don't want to say they all look alike, but they kind of do. As far as Salarians go, there was something awkward look to him that I kind of felt was always at the forefront of my mind when I was thinking about him. I knew that everybody wanted a relationship with a Salarian, so the whole time everybody kept asking me if they, if you got to fool around or flirt with Kallo, and I of course couldn't say anything. I didn't want to say anything, but felt really guilty at the same time because you don't get to. I hope they do it in the future. I hope they put something in, because I think a Salarian romance would be so awesome, even if it's non-sexual. Even just looking at Suvi and Kallo together, I love their relationship as friends. Even though that she's a lesbian, I think they're so great. There's something about that just warms my heart so much. There's so much story that's still left to be explored. With one line, it creates an entire backstory between Suvi and Kallo. There's so much of the crew that I would just love to get to know more about all of them. For Kallo, it was always he knew that he was going to be piloting the ship and working with the Pathfinder, and so I think there's this intense admiration, and I think there was no question in Kallo's mind that whoever that person was, that they were going to follow to the ends of the earth, or the galaxy, if you will. It's almost like this kind of godlike presence, almost like a father figure or mother figure, especially for the Salarians. A sense of the family is so strong within the Salarian race, and Kallo would absolutely give up his life for Ryder. He would do anything for Ryder, and we're really similar. It was basically me. Kallo was basically me. You know, his humor, I might be a little more jaded than Kallo is. Especially his awkwardness. Kallo and I would both be that person at the party that's hiding behind a plant. I will gladly admit that Kallo is, you know, probably like 90% me. People kind of bond over shared stories, and you know, the compliments and the support is so lovely that I just want to thank everybody for, you know, for everything.